Alright, this is for the Chevy Cavalier 2.2 liter Ecotech engine. We're going to do the water pump. I've yet to find anything on YouTube that deals with this type of water pump. This is the water pump right here. It is driven by the timing chain rather than a serpentine belt. And it's on the back side of this engine right here. And if you look, your exhaust manifold, there's a pipe that goes underneath it to the driver's side, and I believe that's where the thermostat is. Let's see if I can. That right there, that bolt and that bolt is the front cover to the water pump. And there is a special tool that you have to get. You remove that plate down there, right there. You remove that plate, and there's a tool that you have to install to prevent you from messing up your timing chain, which goes over the two overhead cams here. Now, let's see if I can get a better view of the back side of the water pump. So you can see the little peephole, a little rectangular hole right there. That's the top of the water pump. That right there. There you go. And there's the pipe. That pipe you see right there, it goes behind the exhaust manifold, which is this right here, and over to the other side of the engine. That is your peephole to see if the pump is any good. Or sometimes that shaft, the seals there will leak, and that's where I'll start leaking from. Unfortunately, mine's leaking from the bottom. But that right there is the water pump on the back side of this engine. And obviously the first thing you want to do is drain it. And if you crawl underneath it, you'll see just the hole you were just looking at. This is where the pipe comes out of. And if you flip it over to the underside of the car, you'll see this bolt right here. You want to drain your system of coolant, and you got to pull this plug right here and then pull your lower radiator hose, so when you take this whole assembly off, you don't dump all the coolant into your face. And of course, this is the pulley that is attached to the timing chain right here. And then this little rubber seal comes with a new water pump. So you know, it's a much nicer setup than the old school, or just glue it with all kinds of silicone. But we'll slowly touch on more stuff as we go through this process. Okay, if you're a visual person like me, couldn't find it in any of the repair manuals you'll buy at the auto stores. They usually show the older version of the 2.2 where the water pump is driven off of the serpentine belt. But this is an exploited view that I got from the dealership, and this is the water pump assembly, and there's the pipe that goes underneath the exhaust manifold, and then over here is the passenger side, which is like roughly under this stuff right here, and that is also where your thermostat is at. I remember right, I think it's right there. It would help if you guys went to the dealerships and just got this printout, because it gives you a better idea on how to disassemble it from the back part of the engine. Another thing that you might want to do that I've already done is took the pressure washer and I pressure washed the engine bay, because it's easier to work with clean stuff rather than stuff falling in your face once you're under the engine. So yeah. Alright, next, in order to get the pump off, we got to take this pipe out. In order to get this pipe out, we got to remove that bolt, and then there's one underneath it. And the easiest way to do that is if you come back here, you see the exhaust manifold, the heat shield, this right here. There's 3 bolts this one, where is it? That one, and this rusty one right there. Remove those 3 bolts, and then this heat shield comes off, and it makes it easier access to get to those 2 bolts which are over here. And once we remove those 2 bolts, we should be able to remove the pipe, and then the back of the water pump should be free to continue. Now that heat shield is removed, you can see the water pump right here, and then you can probably see the silver pipe that goes underneath right there. And we want to get, you can start to see it, that bolt. There's 2 of them right there. It makes it a little easier to get to once you removed this heat shield. Alright, once you remove these 2 10mm, I believe it is, 10mm bolts from here and here under there, it's kind of like in this position. Once you undo it, you just kind of push that side down, and you gotta twist and wiggle it out this way and then pull it out. There's a lot of, it's a tight fit, and there's a lot of wiggling and twisting this pipe to get it out of the back part of the water pump and to get it to clear everything else down there. And once you pull that out, let's see if I can get you to see it. Right there, that's your thermostat. And then since you have everything apart now, might as well go ahead and replace that thermostat. That's what I'm gonna do. And then if you turn around to this side, that's the back of the water pump that the pipe just came out of. And we're not touching the water pump just yet because we gotta go get a special tool that is a requirement. You must have this tool that will go down there where that plate is. You can see the bolt undone a little bit, and it'll go right on. You remove that plate, the tool will go right on it. We'll show you here when I get to that. And it holds the timing chain sprocket for the water pump in place while you pull the water pump. We'll get to that in a minute.